Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another episode of Microsoft Flight Simulators, mods, tools, add-ons, and enhancements. And today we've got some pretty awesome things to show you guys, so stick around because I think you're really going to like these. First on our list today is the Grumman Goose. Now this is a Freeware aircraft. I believe it was a port from FSX. This aircraft came out quite a while ago and I've been keeping an eye on it but haven't felt that it was quite ready to show on the channel yet. And then I kind of forgot about it honestly and decided to pick it up the other day and have really enjoyed my experience with it thus far. The sounds are absolutely fantastic. You really do feel like you're in this incredibly old aircraft. And it really brings a lot of enjoyment as a seaplane in Microsoft Flight Simulator. So let's go ahead and jump into the seat. We're just going to do a quick takeoff here, nothing too crazy, but give you guys an experience of what it's like to fly this thing. I find that the flight model is very nice and not to be, you don't feel like, oops, that was my fault. I just totally killed the mixture. There we go. That was my bad. Anyway, when you guys got to hear the engine start sounds, sound fantastic. That's not what I want. I want that one. But you really get that archaic feel. Now, the graphics, I think the textures are very nice, especially for a Freeware aircraft. Really nothing to complain about. You even get a nice little picture up there. I want to say that's Maryland, but I'm not 100% positive on that. But really nothing that goes, oh no, to me. It feels nice. I love that you can see the propeller track, out the windows, yet it's not so prominent that makes it feel fake. I think it's a really awesome freeware, and as a seaplane, that just adds even more functionality to it. So we're sitting here at Princess Juliana out in the Caribbean. We're going to do a takeoff. Let's get rid of that parking brake. For anyone interested, I did give it a shot in VR. Did I not release the parking brake? There, now I did. Anyway, it takes off very quickly from the ground, at least using flaps 1. Let's get the gear up. Watching our airspeed there, passing through 80 knots, 90. Flaps coming up. And the thing I like the most about flying this aircraft, and I was honestly not expecting it, was the flight model and the behavior and the way the aircraft responds. It's sluggish. It's, you don't feel like the flight control surfaces belong to a different plane or the power belongs to a different plane. You feel like it belongs to this one. Let me, it dawned on me my head tracker's not working, so give me a second here. Just going to turn it on real quick. I thought I had already done that. There we go. But fun little plane to go cruise the scene in. I guess not little plane, but anyway, I highly recommend you guys give this thing a shot. Again, it's completely free. Links down in the description below. And while we're talking about that for a second, if you guys are interested in a PDF document to all the links to every add-on, scenery, etc., or tool that I currently use, consider subscribing to my Patreon channel. It's available to all Patreon subscribers. And again, it's a full PDF document that I keep up to date that you guys can simply scroll down to the section you want. And what it is my browser links. So for example, I'll just show you guys real quick what I'm talking about when I say my browser links. I organize everything, so I have this MSF, aircraft systems, documentation, add-on sites that I use, the tools, immersion add-ons, FS Economy, a VR guide that helps you configure your system for VR. Just a lot of really cool stuff that I think is really handy. Again, as I find cool stuff, I always bookmark them. And so if you guys are interested in that, please consider joining Patreon. It does absolutely help me and the channel, and helps me to deliver some of the content I deliver. Anyways, let's go ahead and try a water landing with this thing real quick. Now, please keep in mind, guys, I know nothing about water landing. Absolutely nothing. If you and I were in an airplane together and we had to perform an emergency landing in water, and you don't have any more experience than I do, I'm going to tell you have a parachute. You have better odds. If you don't have a parachute, get a trash bag, because you're still going to have better chances than you will doing a water landing with me. But let's go ahead and see what we got here. I'm going to pull the power way off. I'm assuming that we probably won't be doing a water landing at 140 knots or miles per hour, excuse me. Pull the prop back a bit. Spin it back up as we get closer. You can see the nose cone there, or the propeller cone, sort of rotating there. That's kind of cool. Uh-oh. Okay, don't pull the mixture back. Gosh, I don't know how many times I have to learn that lesson. Alright, I'm going to try for flaps 1. I hope that's not overspeeding. I mean, we're at 150 miles an hour. But let's see here. Where's a good place to put it? Let's turn it around here. But you see what I mean? I mean, this is just the way it behaves. I mean, I am rocking the stick back and forth, and you notice that the aircraft controls they're not fast. It's very sluggish, and I would expect that, by the way. That's not a bad thing. This old aircraft, old loosey-goosey here, props to anyone who catches that reference. It was all cable linkage. I don't even think that it had any hydraulics on it. I could be mistaken on that for the control surfaces, but I know that the primary connections were cable. So it's just a matter of how hard you could, or how quickly you could pull those cables over, and what the change there was. All right, so we're below 90 knots, or 90 miles an hour. I'm going to keep saying that. I know I am. We're going to go full flaps here. Oh, no, I went the wrong way. Ah! There we go. All right, so we got flap 60. Like I said, I'm guessing here. Let's see what we got. I would imagine our angle of attack should be relatively shallow for a water approach. We're now at 60 miles an hour, 55. I don't want to stall it. Prop's going back to full prop. All of our engine controls are up there. Okay, guys, I'm at full aft. Ah! No, I feel like we're stalling. Okay, alright, easy. This can't be a good thing. Alright, here we go. Oh, no! Oh, we're bouncing on the water. Keep the wings up. Keep it level. Stay level. Okay, well that was interesting. All right, so now let's try to get back out of here. Preferably before we find ourselves in the middle of that town over there. Let's go flaps 20 or 30. There we go. 80 miles an hour. There's 90. Come on, baby. And we're out of the water. Okay, like I said, this is not a tutorial. But this is a very, very fun aircraft. I think it was extremely well done. I did jump into it for a quick second just to test its VR performance, and for anyone who's interested, it is a blast to fly in VR. Almost no frame rate hit at all, and that makes sense because of how simple the cockpit is. That is one of the nicer things about flying the aircraft that don't have your G1000s, G3000 avionics suites and the LCD screens and things, is that it greatly increases your FPS because one less thing to render. Those things take a lot of rendering power. But anyway, you guys check this aircraft out. Again, link down the description below, guys. I think you'll really have a lot of fun with it, especially if you like doing like Caribbean flights like we're doing right now. And speaking of the Caribbean, let's get on to our next add-on. All right, so as many of you know at this point that I really enjoy flying in the Caribbean islands. I think it's absolutely a gorgeous area, and I have found two packages that greatly enhance the Caribbean islands, and they primarily focus on much of the smaller airports, so it's a really fun time to be able to do some island hopping, especially if you like doing touch and goes, fly from one island to the other, do a touch and go, check out the scenery. It's just absolutely freaking gorgeous scenery. I absolutely love what these guys are doing with it. There's again 2 different links down below. You're going to want both packages, and I'm only showing a few of the islands that are available in the different airports that are available in this location. They're absolutely fantastic, guys. I mean, just take in the scenery, check out what's been done here. And again, some people may think that some of these changes are small, adding buildings and things like that to the region, but it really does make a huge difference when you really want to soak it in, especially if you're flying in VR. These things really do add to the immersion, add to the visual impact that the simulator has. The nice thing about Microsoft Flight Simulator is it has the ability to really create some amazing scenery, and I think that's probably one of the largest reasons that a lot of people get upset when the graphics aren't up to par when a new aircraft is released, or etc. And maybe the developer kind of skimped out on the texturing. And it's because Microsoft Flight Simulator does offer so much option to development of the graphics, and I think that's where Microsoft Flight Simulator shines above all the other flight simulators. It certainly does not have the best flight models yet. I think X-Plane and P3D take it when it comes to flight modeling, but when it comes to the overall scenery and the ability to do realistic VFR flying, this is where Microsoft Flight Simulator shines. And so when you take these already amazing graphics and you find these developers who enhance it, it really makes it a fantastic experience. I highly recommend you guys check these out and start flying the Caribbean area. It's mind-blowing. So as you can see here, there's just a ton of them to be listed, which is why I didn't show all of these off. And again, I'm using both of these packs in conjunction with each other, and I just absolutely love the scenery that has been brought to us by these developers here. It's an amazing pack. The Caribbean islands are a fun place to just go and do some island hopping, especially if you just want to do some touch and goes. You just island hop, go from one place to the next, catching in some really cool scenery. Give you guys some tips. Some of my favorite aircraft to do this in is soon going to be the Grumman Goose. I'm really enjoying that aircraft, but the Corsair is a blast to do it in. The Waco, another really fun one to do some island hopping in. So just give you guys a couple of ideas there, but seriously check it out. Even if it's not typically your cup of tea to fly in that area, I really think you'll find some of these views astonishing. Some of them are mind-blowing, especially in virtual reality. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump on to the next one. Alright, so the next one I wanted to show you guys is an interesting app called MSFS Cockpit. And it looks like this. It's another sort of like mobile companion, for those of you who are familiar with it, but not quite. But it's got some really neat functionality. For example, it's meant to be on a different screen, which is why every time I strike an action, it disappears, okay? So you're meant to be able to, you can either connect via a laptop or a touch screen or something to that effect, but it's meant to be ideally on a different monitor. And where I find the value in these kind of apps is sometimes fighting with the mouse can be a real, you guys know what, right? This gives you a lot of readout. It allows you to, for example, if I were to take this off screen for a second, okay, and I can adjust my heading. And I'm going to show you guys where I adjusted it here. So I've set my heading here, and I can turn heading mode on. And off we go. And you can control everything from your flaps to your vertical speed, your ILS, VORs, change your frequencies, your altitude. You can change your increments. You can increment by either hundreds or thousands with a simple tap of the button. You can change your map coloring. Oops. Yep, see, every time I click on something else, it's going to do that. Your map configuration, it gives you an option of what you're looking for as far as topographical map, street maps, physical maps, the Bing maps if you want. This is a Bing map hybrid. Now, I picked sort of a dumb spot to do this, admittedly speaking here, as I'm literally over the ocean, still over the Bahamas. But it's got some really awesome functionality. You can disengage the autopilot, your master switch, your engines, alternators, parking brakes, strobe lights, cabin lights, and you get a bunch of just basic readout. So this is really handy for, if you're someone who struggles to fight with the mouse, or maybe you're trying to do like what we're doing here. Maybe you just want a nice scenic shot, okay, but you need to still maintain control of the aircraft. Okay, I'm able to, let me get in here, there we go, pan around if I wish, change my camera views, and then yet still control the aircraft. I mean, we can control the flaps. There's the flaps coming down. Get them back up. I went to full flaps on accident. Anyway, so you guys get the gist of it. It gives you your from and to waypoints. You can see from is just a custom start, started up in the air start, and then it's got our destination. So on the map itself, you can zoom out. There we go. That's better. Now you guys are seeing more of what its functionality looks like. And again, this is the Bing Map Hybrid. So just some really neat functionality, and it's a very simple, lightweight tool that I think you guys might really enjoy. Again, link down in the description below, so make sure you guys check it out. Let me know what your feedback is and how you guys are feeling about it. Alright guys, let's move on to the next one. Next on our list is another aircraft. We have the Cessna 172 Amphibean. This one really caught my attention. The Cessna 172, obviously a very popular aircraft, and then bringing some amphibian capability to it just enhances its experience even more. I'm really starting to dig on seaplanes, and I'm really going to have to start actually paying attention to how to fly one. But this is a really awesome mod here. Let me get my filter off for you guys. And I'm telling you, I love dark modes. But you guys have some awesome screenshots here of the aircraft in action. Down here is a full changelog of what's going on with it. There's been some performance changes, as well as obviously the cosmetic adjustments to it. What is happening down here? Alright, sorry about that. The kiddos wanted to come in and say goodnight. But again, here is a full changelog here, guys. Be sure to pause the screen if necessary so you guys can check it out. It's pretty phenomenal, the work that's been done to it. And we're going to take a quick hop in it and see what it's like. So, stepping into the cockpit, I mean, it's pretty much just our Cessna 172. Not a whole lot to worry about there. Oops, wrong direction there. Let's go. Batteries. Oh, I don't want the alternator yet. Turn bus 1 on. Let's zoom in down here. We're going to need some beacon lights, nav lights. And let's see here. What am I missing? We got mixture full. Let's crack that throttle. It's been a long time since I've started a 172. And that should be it. Let's give her a crank. Alright, anyway, I hope you guys can hear it. So let's go ahead and turn the rest of the systems on here. So let's turn some taxi lights on. And let's get rolling. See if the performance is really Alright, kind of a short runway, so let's see how this all goes. Power up to max. Again, this is all still part of that Caribbean package that I was telling you guys about. Nice. That's beautiful. Flaps coming up. Look at that. That is a gorgeous scene right there. I don't care who you are. Flies very well. We're climbing 10 degrees at 100 knots. I love it out here. If they had high-speed internet, I would totally move out here, but I don't think they do. At least not what I'm asking for. I'm looking for that 1 gig. But again, for yet another attempt, let's go ahead and try a sea landing and see how bad I bork that. Gosh. Scenes like this, guys. It's scenes like this that the simulator just blows me away. Even the rope's moving nicely. I like that. Alright, so I don't even know how much space we need to do this is the scary part for me. I really have no idea. I should probably at least see what the wind direction is. Let's see here. Wind. Alright, well, we're sort of landing into it. You pull up. Don't tell me to pull up. Well, now we're landing with a crosswind. So I guess what we try to do as we reduce our altitude, I mean, just look at this. All looks so good. This would be the life, man. Seaplane out on a nice island like this. Where could you go wrong, you know? Heck, I'd live in the seaplane. Okay, here we go. See if I bonk this. Hold it. Oof. Now what I don't know Oh, yeah. There she goes. Alright, let's see what the takeoff performance is like from the water. I'm really having a lot of fun with these things, man. Probably want flaps 1, I would guess. it seems a lot more, oh, that can't be good. This cannot be good. Okay. Anyways, guys, let me know what you guys think of this mod down in the description below, or the comments below, and let's move on to yet another one. I'm really enjoying these seaplanes. All right, and our final add-on showcase for today is going to be another scenery add-on, in which we're taking a look at the financial district of New York City. This has been a great improvement to the default, even with the US World update. You find a lot of the trees and bushes and things that were going down the main streets or on top of the buildings have been removed, which is absolutely fantastic package increase. I was hoping to be a bit closer before I started the recording, but apparently I got a little overzealous. But link down below, or link down in the description below. I highly recommend you guys check this one out. We're going to get a bit closer and take a further peek so you guys can see a bit more. Alright, so now coming down into it, you guys can hopefully see what I'm talking about. The building rooftops have been refined. Everything looks more as it would in the real world. You don't get a lot of those weird textures. There are still some flora and fauna that are down there that aren't where they belong, but the buildings themselves have been greatly improved and provide a much more realistic experience from the air. So again, I highly recommend you guys give this one a shot. I really enjoy flying through this area. Absolutely amazing architecture that we have over here. And anyway, yeah, great job to the developers of this one. I hope they keep pushing these updates out for New York. It's definitely an area that needs a ton of improvement. It'd be nice to see a lot of those trees and things removed. But anyway, all right, guys. Well, I hope you guys have enjoyed today's series or episode of mods, tools, add-ons, and enhancements. And until the next time, guys, stay safe, stay healthy, and I will see y'all in the next one.